Today's video may just be the most awesome video I've ever made. It will be the most fun we've ever had together. I am taking the 3 videos you loved the most and I am putting them all into one project. I will be using my scrap pile to make this. I mean, it's an added bonus, really. Let's see what I have here. I haven't chosen any colors or patterns. It all depends on what I can find. So I've got my quilting Lazy Susan right here, and I am essentially chopping 9 1.5 by 3 inch rectangles. This is so practical, guys. I love my Lazy Susan. I know that's probably not what it's called, but I mean, Lazy Susan just sounds so much better. Now we need a solid fabric. It can be white, beige, whatever you got on hand. And we need 9 4 by 2.5 inch rectangles. We want to chop off the 4 corners just because it will make it easier when we do what we need to do with it. We just make sure that it's 1 inch and that the point of our rectangle is lined up with this 45-degree line. We cut. This is what we need. And now we just need to go ahead and do the same with the other 9, or you can just, overlay them and cut it. That's another option, because this doesn't need to be very precise. You just need to make sure you don't cut too much. This is just so we don't bulk up the fabric. This is what we have. So these 9 and these little cuties right here. But this does not make a sandwich, right? We need some batting to put in between. I've got some 100% cotton leftovers right here. It's what I use for my quilts, so that's what I'm going to use for these. Let's cut 9 rectangles. Now, this is a really detailed, teeny tiny project, so pressing is a big thing. We need all the help we can get. This is kind of a hard fabric. It's a sturdy one. I got it on IKEA, I think, actually, loads and loads of years ago. Mike just told me that these look like Pringles and now I'm hungry, so let's get this moving on. Now comes the real fun. Let's make some sandwiches. We take our bottom fabric, our batting, our rectangle, okay? And now we just press these. And now there are 3 ways to do our next step, because essentially we need to fold these in. Now we can do it like this. And now we can pin it, or we can use these quilting clips, which is what I'm going to use. You can also press it in place. We just want to fold the bottom fabric in and do a little bit of self-binding, okay? We are quilting as we go here, and that means we do each rectangle individually. So each rectangle has the 3 layers instead of doing the top and then the sandwich, okay? This way you get a mini sandwich immediately, which works pretty great for large quilts when you're using a home sewing machine. Plus, this is way more fun. So clip it, pin it, or press it in place. It's your call. And now we get to our sides. And we just need to fold these corners in just like you would your regular quilt. Don't worry about this, okay? When we sew them all together, this won't even show. So this, I fold the corner in. Okay, this is our little pillow. Let's sew. Take your time with this, okay? There's no rush. Now we sew this binding into place. We could sew all of this by hand easily, okay? But I prefer using my sewing machine, even though it requires quite a bit of concentration when you're sewing such small pieces. And this is what we have. Our cute little pillow, our rectangle, our brick with mortar. Let's do this 8 more times. If you're using pins instead of clips, you would just need to pin them like this, diagonally, and that would be stuck in place. Just like so, okay? Nothing to it, but I prefer the clips personally. If for nothing else, they're just much easier to take off when I'm sewing. So yeah, they're really handy. Yeah, I have been doing this a couple of times. I don't know what I was thinking. I am not a perfectionist. I don't do well with detail and teeny tiny little things with my big pudgy fingers. It just doesn't work. So yeah, but we can always do it again. That's the big lesson here. We can always try again. We can always just, you know, unstitch it and do it again. So that's what I'm doing, and it will be worth it in the end. Now guys, I'm not gonna lie, the bigger the bricks, the easier your life will be, okay? I have chosen deliberately to make life harder for myself. I should probably have done like a placemat or a table runner with big bricks. Yeah, that would have been much easier. Guys, these are our pieces. They are quilt as you go, so you have the backing, all perfect, and you have the front. For me, these look like little pillows. I am loving it. Now, these aren't perfect in the slightest. There are loads of little mistakes, and I will definitely be doing them again in a bigger size, you know, bigger bricks. Let's go ahead and see if I can actually do what I had in mind. So we need 3 in the middle. This is going to be almost like a beehive. Then 2, let's do it like this. Then maybe this one here, and now, yeah, this is what I had in mind. It's a very irregular, very original shape, but I think this will look really, really cool. First, we will sew all the sides, and then we will go for the tops. Now, as you can see, these aren't straight, okay, but if you press them together, they will be straight enough. And this is what you're going for, okay guys? Teeny tiny zigzag stitch that catches both layers. Let's keep going. And guys, I am totally eyeballing it, okay? I am not measuring. I'm just, you know, doing whatever I feel like it. This just may be the crookedest thing I've ever done, but I am loving it. Let's go. I'm a little bit ashamed and a little bit excited, not gonna lie. This is so crooked, but you get the picture, right? It is so cute at the same time. This is probably one of my favorite mug rugs to date. It's probably the one I'm going to be using the most, and I love it, and I had so much fun. I hope you did too. I'm definitely trying this again with bigger ones. Let me know what you want me to do, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.